Hey guys, I'm here. Last night I went and saw AntMan the Wasp QUANTUMANIA, and I want to give you guys my thoughts on the film. Now, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet, and God, how many times have I said that and still found a way to manage to ramble on for like 10 to 15 minutes? I'm going to try to keep it like nice and concise to my thoughts on the film and not really go into too many tangents, at least. That's going to be my goal. But I'm just going to get this right out of the gate. I thought the movie was extremely alright. You know, anytime a Marvel movie specifically, and it's because they're this giant, right? That anytime there's any kind of mixed reception or negative reviews whatsoever, the media loves to run with it and kind of blow it out of proportion. Sure, the critics have not really been favorable of this movie, and I can see why from that standpoint, but I try to ride that balance of audience member and critic. And I gotta say, I enjoyed a lot of the movie, but there is also a lot of it that did not work, mostly structurally. That kind of made it feel a little disjointed and a little bit incomplete. This isn't really a solid standalone movie compared to a lot of previous entries. This is basically like a prologue more than anything. This is a promise of more to come and makes it feel a little hollow in the end, at least for me personally. But is it the worst MCU movie ever? No, not to me. It's definitely not in my bottom 10, but it's definitely not in my top 10. I'll say that much. I thought it was fine. I thought there was a lot of elements that definitely was derivative and inspired by a lot of different things we've seen before, at least that I've seen. A lot of things that came to mind while I was sitting there watching this movie was like, as we were diving into the quantum realm and exploring it, because pretty much I'd say 95% of the movie is in the quantum realm, and it's kind of opening up to us in this grander way than we've seen before. And it felt to me a lot like Journey to the Center of the Earth, specifically Brendan Fraser's, and then also some elements of Tron Legacy. You know, there's a lot of elements in this that made me think back to Tron Legacy. And I was thinking about it mostly throughout the entire runtime of the movie. But this movie, it kind of gets going, man. It's this exploration of the quantum realm. And because it's more setting up these promises for what is to come in the MCU down the line, this promise and threat of Kang and what kind of presence or threat he's going to be in the future, that is what this is all about. That the characters themselves kind of get thrown to the side in this. They try to build some emotional resonance between Scott and his daughter, their loss of time that they've had together, and some of that works, some of it really doesn't. A lot of the times I felt myself very emotionally disconnected from the entire thing. A lot of the characters are just kind of there. They aren't really given a whole lot of characterization. There are some things that they do that kind of contradict and retcon, and this isn't new to the MCU, but this even to just this pocket, the AntMan films themselves, there are some inconsistencies that this raises with some new additions to the history and to some of the characters within the group. You know, they come into the quantum realm and they are kind of thrown into the mix of this war. And there's this whole like rise of the little man, you know, it's even the title of Scott's book is Look Out for the Little Guy or something like that, I think. And there's that theme that kind of carries on throughout the film that I think in the larger part just kind of gets lost in a lot of the noise. A lot of these characters we're introduced to, I couldn't even tell you their names. I feel like most of them are pretty wasted. One benefit that I'll say, unlike most Marvel films as of late, while it still has a lot of that weird humor that kind of creeps in the middle when a lot of the mystique of the quantum realm kind of gets dissolved away. What it does do that a lot of them have not up until this point is when the serious moments occur, it sets and lets them be serious. And one thing I really appreciated is anytime Jonathan Majors is on screen, anytime Kang is around, you could hear a needle drop. Not like in the theater, but I mean in the screen. Like nobody's quipping a joke at Kang. Kang does not tolerate any jokes. He poses a threat. His air about him is commanding. He is great. Jonathan Majors is the standout highlight, my favorite thing in this movie, save for one random cameo in the opening montage of this movie, which honestly got the biggest shock to me. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but there was a YouTuber, well, former BuzzFeed personality, if you will, makes an appearance. If you're familiar with some prominent ghost hunters that may be floating around on YouTube, there's a familiar face that just pops up, blink and you miss it, out of nowhere. And I saw the film by myself, and I just turned to like literally nobody. It was like, what the fuck? What was he doing here? Oh my God, that MCU canon, please. Midnight Suns, bring them in. They need to be on the team, or at least in the movie. But yeah, that was the biggest surprise. I got derailed there. But Jonathan Majors, fantastic. All the scenes between him and Paul Rudd, great. Paul Rudd himself, charming as hell throughout the whole thing. Pretty much outside of Cassie and Paul Rudd, everybody else is just kind of like there. But my God, nobody takes a bigger hit than Evangeline Lilly's Hope. She might as well just not have been in the movie. And let me touch on this too. MODOK works great when the mask is on and when he's not talking. Anytime he's talking or the mask is off, my God, was I just waiting for it to be over. Did not need him. You honestly could just take him out of the movie and it wouldn't change anything. Do it. Get rid of him. I don't like it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. And one scene towards the end too, in particular with it, would just really just kind of hold the momentum to a slog. But the movie really does kind of, in a way, both kind of set the stakes going forward into Phase 5, but at the same time also kind of undercuts it in a weird way. And again, I can't get into it without talking about what actually happens. But that's how I felt at the end. Like, I thought that they built things up great there, but there was a lot of inconsistencies in the thread itself. I don't know. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fun. It has some great moments. Sometimes the CGI is fantastic. Some of it is some of the worst I've ever seen at times. And I know this has nothing to do with the talent actually working on the visual effects, more so as it has with the culture surrounding Marvel and the pressures and the time constraints and the limitations that they put on these people. But like, there were some effects in there that didn't have finished textures. There were some green screen effects in there that looked 20 years old. Anytime that you had a fully CGI shot, it looked pretty solid for the most part. Anytime there was live action on CGI, it really needed more time. Other times, like I said, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I feel like the movie is just not concerned with being a movie. It is kind of the problem that we've seen with a lot of projects as of late. The concern is not with making a solid movie from end to finish, but with promoting what is to come. The conclusion of the film does leave me a little disappointed, but I feel like general audiences are going to enjoy the hell out of this movie. Your average Marvel fan is going to enjoy this movie. If you've just watched way too many damn movies and you know the shtick, the ins and outs, the tropes, the formulas, it all plays out kind of like how you expect it to. And maybe that's one of the downfalls of like myself as I've become steeped more and more into the art of film itself. I get exposed a little bit more to the flaws, but I still feel pretty confident that I can ride those lines and see where the divide is. Like, I had fun with this. Did everything work? No. Did I enjoy the movie? For the most part, yes. I think it will satisfy most. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of people like me that'll be kind of in the middle. I feel like there's going to be plenty of people that are just like not connect with it at all. I don't know if it's Marvel fatigue, superhero fatigue, or maybe the audience, maybe we're just getting older. Maybe it's not for us anymore. I don't know what it is, but I hope I never hope that anybody doesn't like a film or anything like that, but I just hope everybody goes and sees it. I hope you take away what you take away, and I just would love to know your thoughts. I'm curious, how's everybody feeling on this one? Are you maligned, or did you love it? I've seen some people that are followers of the channel that absolutely like gave it like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I'm just like, all power to you, man. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to you. What did you all think about the film? So sound off the comments, let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. If you enjoyed this, I hope you did. Please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. And before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends, Benny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, York Corey Scott, Margaret Grace, Melita, Robert Aguiano, Raven McCann, Jeffrey Hale, M. Safral, Jake Cantrell, Amy Becca, Josh Lee, and Aaron Myers. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. That's it for the video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.